Angkor Wat Temple. Angkor Wat is the largest religious monument not only in Cambodia but in the world. It occupies a rectangular area of about 200 hectares and was originally constructed during the reign King Suryavaman II in the early 12th century for worshipping the Hindu God Vishnu. It probably served as a mausoleum for the king after his death and was eventually transformed into a Buddhist temple in 16th century following the defeat of the Siamese armies, who sacked Angkor several times in 14th and 15th century, by King Ang Chan Reachea. He then used the temple as a Buddhist monastery, and the temple was later renamed Angkor Wat, which means a Buddhist monastery or pagoda of the city. Tower. Angkor Wat is a man-made temple mountain rising with 9 towers, of which 5 are the main towers which stand in a quincunx, a main shrine in the center, and the other 4 towers at each corner of the rectangle encompassing the temple. Whilst the 5 quincunx towers the view from the direction of 2nd West Causeway, 3 towers have become a symbol on the Cambodia national flag. Are on good condition. The other 4 at corner of the 2nd level are missing their spire. Those towers represent the peaks of the mythical Mount Meru, home of gods, and it is located in the center of the universe. Wall. The temple is enclosed by outer laterite wall 1,024 meters by 802 meters and of 4.5 meter height, and these represent the range of mountains at the edge of universe. Moat. The moat measurement is 1,300 meters by 1,500 meters, with its depth in average for 5 meters and fills with rainwater. The authorities do not allow people to swim or fish in the moat, resulting in some fish and tortoise crawling from water to cross the road during rainy season, and whilst some people pick up them for food, others release them back to water because they believe eating them is a sin. The moat has 3 different functions. Religion. It represents ocean of universe, and it was a sacred water for people used it to wash away their sins. Water tank. It served as a part of irrigation network so that people living around the temple could use the water to support their daily life and probably irrigate rice fields. Architecture. It used to support the weight of temple and keep its foundation wet and solidity, because the core of the temple, made of sand and earth, would otherwise collapse. Main entrance and its orientation of temple. Main entrance of the temple is at the west gate, where a long sandstone causeway, flanked by Naga balustrades, leads across the moat and connects to the outer gallery. Imposing male lion figures stand before the Naga heads. Its symbolism. The Naga along the causeway represent a rainbow and a sacred way connecting earth to heaven. The lions may represent the power of the king or as a spirit protector. Another concept of Naga and lion were symbolized Luna and Sola dynasty of the Khmer. The long gallery of the main entrance, made of sandstone, has 5 passageways. Supported above the staircase, the 3 central doorways are crowned with their towers but missing their spires, and were probably used by the king's royal family priests and officers, whereas the other two doorways on the ground level were used by commoners and animals like horses and elephants. The west orientation of the temple. Commonly, the ancient Khmer temples were built to face east for sunrise, good luck, and rebirth, but Angkor Wat faces west, the sunset, bad luck, and death. Because of its direction, scholars have debated that Angkor Wat could have been built as a temple or a mausoleum. Idea about a temple. Angkor Wat, if built to worship Vishnu, and this can be read from the statue of Vishnu with 8 arms placed in the center of top level and from the carvings seen on the BAS relief gallery of first level, which depict the Vishnu life story and of his reincarnation. Vishnu's abode is to the west. However, some temples in Angkor complex, like Banti Samra, Tamanan, and Wat At Via, were also built for Vishnu, but their orientation is east-facing. Idea about a mausoleum. After the death of the King Suryavaman II, the temple was used as his mausoleum under his posthumous name Vishnaloka, and the carving of bas-relief should be viewed from left to right, which it is the practice used in Hindu funeral ceremonies. Hence the temple was built face to west as the sunset and the death direction. Why does Angkor Wat remain in good condition when compared to other temples? Some Hindu religious worshippers believe that Angkor Wat is the most intact because of its orientation to the west. When standing or kneeling to pray to a god facing west, the devotees would face to east, which is the right direction of Hinduism, so it brings real good luck and God's happy. Hectares reach. 3 huge standing sandstone figures inside of the 3 main doorways of the west entrance, but it is the one on the right of the central doorway that is in good condition and has become the most famous and sacred statue, and named Ta Reach or Vishnu. Some scholars thought that the statue may have been removed from the top level of the temple when it was converted to a Buddhist temple. The head of the statue has been cut off during looting in 1993, but later in February 2004 it was replaced on the torso by conservation officers. How come if the statue was called Vishnu just because of his 8 arms? Vishnu, commonly, Vishnu has his different attributes like a conch, a mace, a disc, a ball, a bow, an arrow, a sword, and a lotus along with his form in 8 arms. But the Ta Reach statue here has 8 arms holding the same as symbol, which I think this, therefore, cannot be Vishnu. Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara statue. Some Khmer archaeologists have argued the statue of Ta Reach was sculpted in late 12th century during the reign of King Jayavarman VII, and it is in the Bayan art style, so the statue should be considered as Bodhisattva Avalokitesvara. But if this is the Buddha statue, it should be embellished with some iconography of Buddha on his body and on his head. A spirit protector. The local residents have believed the Ta Reach statue should be presented as a spirit protector, a powerful guardian for this temple. A form of Nataraj, Lord of Dance. Another theory is this statue was Lord Shiva in the form of Nataraj, the Lord of Dance. In Khmer pronunciation, the sound of Nataraj becomes Nek Ta Reach Chia, or, in short form, as Nek Ta Reach or Ta Reach. Rediscover of Angkor Wat. The Angkor area was abandoned after a Khmer king moved his capital city to near Phnom Penh in 1431 AD, but Angkor Wat was never completely abandoned because the Hindu temple was converted into a Buddhist temple and has been used constantly by Buddhist monks and nuns through to today. One of the first recorded Western visitors to the temple was Antonio de Madalena, a Portuguese monk who visited in Angkor Wat in 1586. In the 17th century, some Japanese Buddhist pilgrims arrived for a celebration of the Khmer New Year in 1632. In the years 1858 to 60, the temple was visited by the French naturalist and explorer Henri Mouhot, and who published his travel notes. He wrote that one of these temples, a rival to that of Solomon, and erected by some ancient Michelangelo, might take an honorable place beside our most beautiful buildings. It is grander than anything left to us by Greece or Rome, and presents a sad contrast to the state of barbarism in which the nation is now plunged. In the December 14, 1992, the UNESCO World Heritage Committees inscribed the monument and the whole city complex of Angkor as a World Heritage Site. Wooden ceiling at long galleries. All long galleries of the temple, both outside and inside, were blind the inner roof by wooden ceiling decorate with lotus rosettes, but nowadays those ceilings gone. The second causeway. A 350 causeway connects the western Gopur to the central temple, with Naga balustrades and 6 sets of steps leading down to the city buildings of the temple on either side of the causeway. Each side features a library, with entrances at each cardinal point and a pond between the library and the temple itself. The ponds for the temple reflection today are later additions to the design, as is the cruciform terrace guarded by lions connecting the causeway to the central structure. Ending the second causeway is the royal terrace, where May use for the king meets his people and performs Apsara dance here. Central structure. The outer gallery measures 187 meters by 215 meters, with pavilions at the corners, is the bas-relief gallery with 8 grand carved panels and 2 corner pavilions with carving. These reliefs depict episodes from the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Krishna stories, hell and heaven, King Suryavaman's 2-troop procession, and some delightful depiction of the daily life of the local people. The gallery is open to the outside of the temple, with double columns standing in line symmetrically to support the vaulted roof and porch. Thousand Buddha Gallery and some inscription at columns. Going up to inner side from the main second causeway, the large cruciform covered by a vaulted roof and painted with the original red color on all columns is called Priya Pon, the Hall of 1,000 Buddha. This was where pilgrims met, and many Buddha images, made of wood, stone, bronze, silver, and gold were placed here, but only a few remain in south part of this gallery. A huge standing Buddha in style of Abhiyamutra, meaning no fear, is becoming very popular as a site for worshipping by Buddhists. There has many inscriptions, written in 17th to 19th centuries, along the surface of some of the columns, and these relate to the good deeds of pilgrims. Most are written in the Khmer language with some writings of Burmese, Japanese, and Chinese languages. At the north and south of the Thousand Buddha Gallery are libraries where nuns, at such a quiet place, may be found meditating. Four basins. At courtyards outside of cloister there are 4 small basins for storage rain water from the roofs and may originally have been used for ablution water prior to worship. Meditation Gallery. 3 sets of steps connect the Thousand Buddha Gallery up to the 2nd level. The walled-up gallery is 100 meters by 115 meters, and is called the Meditation Gallery, and which may be used by pilgrims for meditation. From the wide courtyards of the 2nd level of the Meditation Gallery are many beautiful carvings of Apsara, celestial dancers, and these decorate the outside the wall. The Meditation Gallery small libraries display some Apsara in groups and pairs showing their charming and funny faces, sweet smiling by mouth closed, some opening showing their teeth, some have their tongues out, some sad, and some feeling shy, and have many different and attractive hairstyles. Others depict dresses shorts, have nude torsos. Bakken, the main central building. 3 sets of steps on each side lead up to the corner towers and gopras of the inner gallery of the very top level. The very steep stairways may represent the difficulty of ascending to the kingdom of the gods. The building here is called Bakken and it is 60 meters square with axial galleries connecting each gopra with the central shrine. Function of those steep staircases. The 12 staircases are noticeably very steep with narrow steps that do not fit the feet size of people. In order to climb up, visitors ought to step aside up or down and use their hands to support a stance. The purpose of making the stairs so steep may be 1. Respect for a god. As a supreme god at the topmost level, devotees must pay respect carefully by using their hand to touch each step as if they were bowing on their approach. 2. Architectural construction. These staircase may support the tall building because its foundation is made of earth and sand as a core. Without the surrounding staircases it would not be sufficiently reinforced and, with a rainy season, may undermine the foundations. The central shrine on top originally displayed a standing Vishnu statue which, become ta reach today, was later probably moved to outermost gallery of the doorway at the western entrance. In the center of the shrine was originally open on each side but was walled when the temple was converted for Theravada Buddhism, the new walls featuring the 4 standing Buddha which can be seen today. In 1934, the conservator George Trouvé excavated the pit beneath the central shrine filled with sand and water, and found it had already been robbed of its treasure, but he did find a sacred foundation deposit of gold leaf some 2 meters above ground level.